A very good afternoon, all of you. Welcome to Super Coaching UPSC by Textbook. This is Venkatesh, your faculty for geography. So, students, today I'm coming up with a topic called Western Disturbances, as you can see in this picture, which has a huge relevance in terms of our rainfall in the months of winter. It has a significant impact in terms of our agriculture and economy. Let's discuss about all the topics associated with Western disturbances. And from this video, I'm also creating some kind of MCQs through which questions can be asked for our UPSC prelims exam. So the perspective is learn through MCQs, right? So instead of discussing the concept, today I'll be discussing in this way of discussing the topic through MCQs, right? So without much wastage of time, see this question, try to identify the statements given here and try to answer what could be the most possible right answer here, right? Read the statements carefully and try to answer. Right? So if you see here, yeah, let me see the comments. Right. So put the answers in the comment section here. Yeah, statement 1, is it correct or is it wrong? Yeah. So you see, here. Statement 1, Western disturbances can cause a delay in monsoons in India. Can they cause delay in monsoons in India? Yes, somebody says answer as B. Let's see whether the statement is right or not. Western disturbance can cause delay in monsoons in India. Yes, they can cause delay. If they can cause, then the only option which you are eliminating is this, right? Now statement 2. Right. Statement 2, these disturbances delay the development of low pressure area on the Indian landmass. These disturbances, that is the Western disturbances, delay the development of low pressure area on the Indian landmass. Is that the case? Yes, that can also happen, and that will lead to delay the development of monsoons in India. So statement 1 is correct, statement 2 is correct, and statement 2 is the correct explanation for statement 1. So answer is A, right? So this is a statement, answer is both the statements are right and A is the correct and 2 is the statement, second statement is the correct explanation for statement 1. How? Let me explain. For example, what are Western disturbances? What are Western disturbances here? Western disturbances are what? They are low pressure systems in the Mediterranean Sea. Western disturbances are low pressure system in the Mediterranean Sea. These are dragged towards India by a jet stream called subtropical westerly jet stream and also the global wind system called westerlies. So the low pressure systems originates in the Mediterranean Sea are dragged towards India, right, because of the jet streams and westerlies. When they cause, they are actually bringing the moisture here. Sometimes when westerlies becomes weaker or when westerlies bring around a huge amount of moisture, what will happen in the area of Tibet as well as Indian landmass is, if the Indian landmass is actually low pressure, it is favorable for India's monsoons, right? You can see the favorability of monsoons. But when there is a westerlies, under the impact of westerlies, the amount of moisture here, the amount of dryness, the amount of heat, that can be reduced. That is especially in the months of summer. in the months of summer, you can see that this low pressure area which is caused by heat in India can be neutralized by a strong western disturbance. So it is also a correlation with respect to monsoons. The delay of monsoons as such can also be a factor with the western disturbances. So so in this way they can also have a impact. So with this, statement 1 and 2 both are right, and 1 is the correct explanation and 2 is the correct explanation for 1. Let's see the next question now. Which of these statements are correct? Let's see. Now try to see this question in detail. Okay. Which of these statements are correct? Western disturbances are tropical storms originating in the Mediterranean region. They are crucial for wheat cultivation in India. They help in creating dust storms in India. Which statements are correct? Which statements are wrong? Try to have an understanding. Listen carefully, read the statements carefully. You are expected to get this answer right. Right? See the answers. Yeah. Gayatri, you are getting the answers wrong. One answer is C. Last question you said B, it was wrong. Right. So let's see the answer. Western disturbances are tropical storms originating in the Mediterranean region. Western disturbances are tropical storms originating in the Mediterranean region. Is the statement right? The Mediterranean region, this is right. But is it tropical or is it extratropical? It is extratropical, or it has to be temperate. So statement 1 is wrong. See the location of Mediterranean region. It is part of the temperate regions of the world. It is around 35-40 degrees. There they originate. I think you all should know about the temperate region, right? For example, if you talk about this, so this is the Mediterranean Sea. This is Africa, Europe. You can see here in the winters and months, you will see that this area will be very, very cold. So there will be a cold air here. Relatively, this would be warm air and this moist air. So when this contrast is there, then you will see the development of temperate cyclones. So this is what we call it as a frontal zone. What is this zone? Zone of fronts. Have you ever seen a movie of war movies? Battle fronts, right? What are battle fronts? Battle fronts are nothing but, two contrasting armies or enemies are meeting each other. When two contrasting armies or enemies are meeting each other, that is what we call it as battlefront, right? So similarly here, a warm air mass from that equal towards the tropical region and a cold air mass from the polar region, two contrasting air masses, air parcels. When they meet, that will be the development of temperate cyclones. So when such temperate cyclones develop in the Mediterranean Sea, what will happen is there are some kind of a jet streams like subtropical westerly jet stream, which will be steering these kind of disturbances with moisture from the Mediterranean Sea towards India. Usually they are weaker. They are not very, very strong like a southwest monsoonal wind system. So usually they are weaker. They are attributed to around 5 to 10% of rainfall in India, right? They are attributed to 5 to 10% of rainfall in India. So when you have the mountain systems here, the mighty Himalayas. We know the Greater Himalayas, which are also known as Himadri, has a height of almost around 6,000 meters, 8,000 meters. So, if we have a height of around 6,000 meters and a wind system comes like this, do you really think that a wind system can cross the Himalayas and travel? Definitely not, isn't it? So, along the foothills, because of these things, we have decent amount of rainfall. There would be decent amount of rainfall, right? So we'll be having the clouds, and that cloud will lead to rainfall. All these things can be happening. So with this, what can you say is they are extratropical, or definitely they are not the tropical cyclones which we see in our part of the world, like the cyclones happening in the Bay of Bengal. They are not part of this variety. Please understand this as a base. Then originating in the Mediterranean region, yes. So this is the statement. You can consider this as wrong. They are crucial for wheat cultivation in India because they provide rainfall in winter. So they are crucial for wheat cultivation? Definitely yes. So this statement is right. So second statement is right. In fact, you can see here, this is the easiest second statement. It is there in all the options given, right? Then Western disturbances help in creating dust storms in India. Are they help in creating dust storms in India? Yes. In the summer, they create the dust storms. So answer is 2 and 3. So they help in creating dust storms in India in summer. Yes. So this is the only difference which you have. Now if you see here, remember when these Western disturbances are crossing the paths of Iran, crossing the paths of Pakistan, here you will have the province of Baluch, right? Then here you will be having the Thar desert. Remember recently the Pakistan has some kind of an issue with respect to Iran. There was some kind of a war there happening, some kind of a dispute happening. That is also the Baluch province. If you see the landscape of this Iran, Pakistan and all here, it is a very, very dry region. When it is dry, when such kind of dry winds travel across, when these kind of winds travel across the dry landscape of Iran, Pakistan, even the Thar desert, they bring the dust during the dry months of winter towards India, which is exactly happening the reasons for dust storms in the months of March, April, May. Because usually winters, Western disturbances are associated with 3-4 things, right? Western disturbances are associated with so say from November to until even June, July as well. So with this, you can talk about this steering of the wind systems. I hope you are able to follow here. So this is the dry winds. There are also reasons for dust storms in India. Okay, so this is in the summer months. 2 and 3 are the reasons. What is the dust storm here? Simple point. Indian landmass in the months of summer is extremely heated up. Why? Because of high temperature. Because of high temperature, and we also have dryness. There is also some kind of dryness which is rising. At the same time, you also find some kind of a dust storm, some kind of an additional dust which is brought forward by Western disturbances. What will happen now? There will be a dust storm, right? 2 and 3, right? Then consider which of the following are associated with Western disturbances in India. Which of the following are associated with Western disturbances in India? Try to see. Now already I told you about the dust storms, just now we have discussed. Then see the remaining things. Imagine such kind of questions are asked in the prelims exam. How well are you able to answer? That's what matters. Which of the following are associated with the dust storms in India? Right. So let's explain here. Right. Are they explaining associated with the snowfall? Yes. For example, when you talk about the Himalayas, when you find about the mountains, Himalayas, then you will find that subtropical westerly jet stream is providing the western disturbances towards India. What it is doing? It is doing nothing but it is providing the moisture from the Mediterranean Sea towards, it is carrying moisture. Whatever the moisture is there, that moisture will be leading to cloud formation, and that will lead to decent amount of rainfall, right? And when you talk about loftiest mountains, it can also be snow. So extreme snowfall in the regions of Himachal Pradesh, in the regions of Ladakh, Kashmir, you will find that there will be decent amount of snowfall, and it is also a source of winter rainfall or the non-monsoonal rainfall. So snowfall and as well winter it is associated with. Also, sometimes what happens is when you find when it brings around so much amount of moisture, it can also create foggy conditions, right? Then when is a severe kind of a western disturbances is there, it can also create a cold wave, right? It can create a cold wave. So western disturbances are associated with cold waves, are associated with foggy weather, are associated with winter rainfall, snowfall. All the things are correct, right? You can see here. Dust storms, yes. Rainfall, yes. Cold waves, yes. Fog, yes. All of them above. In fact, they also can be associated with a cloud burst. Remember 2013 Uttarakhand floods? They are associated with it. Look at the word I have used. Associated. I never said that these are the reasons of completeness. They are associated. In fact, they are also associated with the tropical cyclones. Can a tropical cyclone hit Delhi? Can a tropical cyclone hit Delhi? No, no. Delhi is almost far away from the ocean. So tropical cyclones, Delhi, usually you will not find it. But under the influence of a western disturbance, the cyclone which has originated in the Arabian Sea, which will actually die after hitting the coast of the Gujarat, that coast, because the moisture supply was not there, but that cyclone, a cyclone called Taukte, has provided moisture from Gujarat almost to Delhi, right? So that way, you have seen that such kind of things are also happening, right? So, so in a way, cyclonic rainfall was received in Delhi, right? So because that way, you will see that some kind of weather disturbances can also occur. So what is happening is, let me explain that. Okay, so you see here, this is Delhi. You can sometimes you can see that there might be the westerly disturbance, which is the heavy westerly disturbance. I can bring it from the that westerly disturbance can originate from the Mediterranean Sea and come towards India. Okay, so exactly as it is moving like this. So sometimes this the jet streams can also deviate like this, isn't it? They are known for deviation. So imagine that there is a cyclone. This is moving here like this. It is supposed to die here. Exactly as it is about to die, this is providing the moisture and this is being dragged towards Delhi. Similarly, when you talk about the same thing, during the Uttarakhand floods, okay, this is the mighty Himalayas, okay. You can see around the western disturbance coming from the west, okay. This is bringing one source of moisture towards Uttarakhand. Then you had a southwest monsoon, which is bringing moisture from the Arabian Sea, an intense cyclonic system which was developed from the cyclonic system which has developed here, that has dragged moisture even from the problem with it is, even from the Bay of Bengal branch, there was a decent amount of moisture. So Uttarakhand has received around 3 parcels of air with moisture from 3 big oceans, decent enough size of oceans, Mediterranean Sea, Bay of Bengal, as well as Arabian Sea. That is the reason why it has received almost around 400% of its normal rainfall in a few days, which led to such kind of violent floods we have seen in 2013, right? So that is the thing associated with the weather systems. They can be good, they can be bad as well. It is a mix of both. Hope all of you have understood the nature of how to apply this question, right? So then, with this, try to answer this question. Western disturbances are not always harbinger of good weather. Critically analyze. Answer this question and try to post it in the comment section and give it to my and you can also send your answer for evaluation, which you can see in my Telegram channel. So people who wanted to write an answer, you can pause it now, pause this video, write this answer, get into the Telegram channel. Okay, get into the Telegram channel, share your answer, get me your answer evaluated from me, and after that, once again, watch this video from here for a proper explanation. Okay, right? Otherwise, I'll be giving an answer of explanation, but I would advise you to write first and then come here. So let me explain the answer here. Introduction. So your approach, what should be the body of an answer? What should be the approach of your answer? It should be having a proper structure. Introduction, body, conclusion. But within the body, what is the thing which is using? Critically analyze. It is asking about a word called critically analyze. It is not always a harbinger. Harbinger means what? Here you can say is a good sign or a symbol or an indicator, something like that. Indicator of good weather, symbol of good weather. You can take the metaphor in this way, right? So with this, introduction, body, conclusion. Now tell me about the introduction. What are the methods? Simply define. Define Western disturbance. This is one method. Western disturbances are extratropical cyclones originating from the Mediterranean Sea and steered towards India by subtropical westerly jet stream and westerlies. You can write as simple as things. Or you can say that the recent snowless winter has caused concerns about variability of Western disturbances. If you see, often in the last few years, there are decent variabilities of Western disturbances. This is a current affairs. Because of this only, they are signs. They are also not signs of good weather. You can talk about that. That's an introduction you can give, or you can simply define. Then you can talk about body. They are asking about critically analyze. That means sometimes, yes, they are a sign of good weather. Sometimes they are they are not a sign of good weather. You have to give answers for both. You have to give answers for both. What do you write? How they are sign of good weather here? How they are a sign of good weather? They are crucial for rainfall, right? This rainfall is important for the wheat crop in the Rabi season. They are crucial for even snowfall, which is crucial for alpine meadows. Remember the Shah Rukh Khan movies where they used to go to the Himalayas for songs and all. You can see a flat land between the mountains. There you will find decent amount of grasses. These grasses will be completely under snow during the winter months under the influence of high snowfall. So these alpine meadows are the centers of skiing and all. People go to places like Gulmarg, right? Why do they go to places like Gulmarg? Because they're the centers of snowfall in winter, where they go for economic activity, skiing and all, tourism and all. So they are very, very crucial for these things. And this snowfall is also crucial for our, glacial water source, for our glaciers. And that is the crucial for our water supply. So these are the important things. You can associate it with the main source of western disturbance, and then you can drag it towards the crucial glaciers and water supplies and all. This language, you see, alpine meadows, rainfall, wheat, rabi crop. This is what the language which is expected while you write, where you can differentiate between a top very good answer and a very good answer. Then you draw a diagram, showcase these things. Then they're also not a sign of good weather. I've given you example. Excessive snowfall. Sometimes they can create foggy conditions plus cold wave. Visibility is low. Sometimes they can be associated with, cloud burst. Sometimes they can also associate with heavy snowfall. Heavy snowfall, right? So heavy snowfall. So all such kind of things. Sometimes I also told you they are also associated with even cyclones. Cyclones, right? Okay. So you need to write about all these points. Not a sign, good sign, all those things together. Then you are able to write the answer very, very well. Then you can go to the conclusion. What could be the method of conclusion here? So you can draw this diagram, how they are bringing, or you can simply draw an India map. Okay. You can simply draw an India map like this. Show them different areas. This area has heavy snowfall. You can see here. This area has dust storms in summer, local thunderstorms, summer dust storms, and this is about rainfall region. So you can give it in this way. So it will impact both the regions. You can talk about that. So you can draw this diagram and show how it can gain rainfall to our northwest India. Okay, this is what you can write. Then what could be the conclusion? Conclusion you can write about this statement is, see, if you have defined what are western disturbances in your introduction, you can conclude as, of late, western disturbances have been associated with the significant variability because of climate change. Hence, there is a need for proper forecasting of western disturbances, right? Because they are associated with the proper higher variability in the recent years, 2-3, if you observe the last 3-4 years, they are associated with. You can talk about their proper forecasting of western disturbances is very, very important. Okay. So this is the crucial thing. With this, you can end the video, right? Now, why there is a variability? I'll be discussing you one more approach. Why do you think that there is a variability? How they are associated with the El Nino? How they are associated with the La Nina? Remember a car having around 4 tires? Now take the entire world as also a 4 tires. When you see around 1/3 of the globe of the Pacific Ocean is impacted with respect to rainfall, 1/3 of the world of the Pacific Ocean, when there is temperature variations, the pressure would be varied. These pressure variations would have an impact on the pressure variation. See, ultimately what are these low pressure areas? This low pressure area will be having an impact because of a broader change in the Pacific Ocean. When this low pressure change has a variation, it will have an impact here. So ultimately what are they? Low pressure area. These are steered by the western disturbances. Now you see here, this is what the western disturbance, okay, maybe I have given a bit south, but if you talk about the western disturbances here, the westerlies here, when you talk about westerlies would be moving here like this, right? This is the path. Now you see this beyond south they cannot go. Okay. So when you find it here, western disturbance, these westerly wind systems, this is also a movement of pressure differences only, no? So when there is a big event like El Nino and La Nina, which we'll discuss separately, they can have an impact on the pressure systems across the world. So this is one kind of a high pressure area. This is one kind of a high pressure area. In the Tibetan region, this is one kind of a low pressure area. So there are multiple pressure patterns which you can see. All these things will be slightly varied when there are bigger events like El Nino and La Nina, right? So as I told you, car, four corners. All these four corners are interlinked, no? Just like that, the pressure systems are also very much interlinked across the world. When there is a variation of these pressure conditions, you will find they are having a significant impact on monsoons. This is how they are impacted with El Nino and La Nina. Maybe we'll have another video about a broader, in detail explanation about Western disturbances, El Nino, La Nina, right? Hope you all have understood this question, this topic. I would definitely suggest you to write an answer on this topic called Western disturbances are not always a harbinger of good weather, right? Write an answer on this and post it in the Telegram channel. Okay, post it in the Telegram channel. You can get into the Telegram channel. I will give a well detailed explanation of the question as well, how to write with all the things. I will be giving you the answer as well. You can get the answer from the Telegram channel. And remember, a Telegram channel is meant for interaction. Okay, so if you have any doubt, you can always ask with me, ask directly with me, directly connect with me through the Telegram channel, and you can resolve your doubts. That is the reason why we have the channel. Okay, get into the channel, and this is also a place where we'll be discussing doubts, and also the PDF of this YouTube session you will get there. Hope you all have understood this video, right? Have a wonderful time. And also, I would like to end this today's session with this. Tomorrow happens to be a Republic Day. Happy Republic Day in advance. I wish all of you a happy Republic Day, and I expect each one of you to be a very good citizen, where you are making our country and the people here proud of your activities and your way of thinking, where you can bring a change, be it as an administrator, be it as a general citizen, right? With this, I'm ending this video. Jai Hind.